right, you guys, good morning. How are you? Welcome to Thursday. I hope everything is going great for you. I have posted all of the mid-October readings. They are all ready to go and have been up on the channel for a while. So if you're looking for yours, they're all there. Let's see where we go. Today in my astrology group, I'm going to start talking about Pluto moving into Aquarius. I have been talking about that for a few months now, but I'm going to take you through each of the houses, and I'm going to talk to you about how this next 20-year cycle is going to impact you, what it's going to look like for your life. So if you're not part of my astrology group and you want to know about that, jump on. I'm going to talk about all of those bigger planets, those outer planets, Uranus and Neptune. I'll get to them sometime in November and December. And we'll see where we go. I just want to really help you understand what this next cycle is going to look like. Okay. So trust. Ooh, full moon energy and new life, new moon. Okay. All right. Whatever, wherever it's going to come from, and growth. Yeah, no, just growth. Okay. So this full moon and new moon, we have a new moon at the beginning of November, a new moon in Scorpio, and this full moon in Taurus is going to be off the hook. It's another super moon. And Taurus energy, if you watched my twin flame reading yesterday, I'm talking a lot about that because the full moon in Taurus is going to shine a light on things, external things to us that we have relied upon to keep us feeling safe and secure, but they're really going to show up. They're really going to show themselves to not be safe and secure. These are things that we're learning the lesson that the only thing that is safe and secure, how you make yourself safe and secure, is having a strong connection to spirit. That's internal. These outside things, not so much. Things of the flesh or things of the 3D are cyclical. They come in and out of our lives. And we really are moving in a new direction to where anything that can be created can be destroyed. Anything that can be moved through, you're just in a much more stable spot when you are spiritually connected. And that's where I feel like that's what 2025 is going to be about for a lot of people who aren't even on the spiritual path yet, is going to be about them understanding that the internal connection to spirit is the thing. That's where safety and security really come from. So let's look at the reading here. I'm going to actually move this up. Right? That's what's going to bring the growth. All right. Ace of Wands underneath. The Six of Cups. The Hanged Man. Look at this. The Two of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So there's a new cycle starting here, and it's coming in the guise or in the look of a new enlightenment. And a heart chakra awakening is going to be happening all across the globe. We are going to have a lot of people like not understanding what this is. All right. But those of you on the spiritual path, this brings a new opportunity to reconnect, to rekindle, to be in the energy of love. And that can show up in a lot of different ways. There can be old relationships renewed, family, friends, life partners. And it's going to be the energy of the new energy, the new shift, the 5D kind of experience of love, which is going to be different than what we've had. That's why 2024 was so full of breakups. And that's still happening, where relationships that can't survive that shift into what a 5D love looks like are breaking apart because one of you is already shifting into some kind of new energy, new energetic signature. Okay. Justice. Knight of Wands. Knight of Swords. So Libra energy here showing up. I like that a lot. The Death card, there's Scorpio time. We are in Scorpio time now. Just out of Libra time. 9 of Pentacles. 4 of Swords. Those on the spiritual path who are meditating, who are doing your spiritual practices, this is a reminder, get meditating, because lots of downloads trying to come through to you, lots of new information, lots of directional. Because look at this. This is sort of like, I feel like a lot of people are going to be going in a lot of different directions that are going to be unguided because the energy is going to be so fast. When Pluto moves into Aquarius, things are going to be a lot faster. You can be able to manifest, okay? And, you know, if you've already learned how to manifest, this is how it's going to show up for you, that manifestations can be immediate. For those of you who don't know how to manifest or feel like you haven't really learned, this is going to be an easier time to learn how to manifest, okay? Not death. 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. The real internal safety and security is coming. It's inside. All right. That's what we're surrendering to. 7 of Pentacles, the Sun, and the 4 of Cups. So we have Mars. The first of the month in November, we have Mars in opposition, first through the third, Mars in opposition to Pluto, which I've talked about before. And we have a new moon in Scorpio. So that translates to a new death, or a new falling away of any kind of intentions that are not for you, that are not going to be for you. That's why the inner dialogue, dialogue between you and spirit is so important right now, because I feel like there's a lot of downloads coming in for people, a lot of information trying to show up for you, that when you're balanced and when you're aligning with these super moons, right? Some of you, this is an activation phase. It's not necessarily that you're integrating the information yet. It's just coming in. It's just coming in. Okay? So there's going to be some choices, and there's going to be some relationships that are not going to understand you anymore. Okay? And if you have held on to relationships, certain ones that do need to go, I feel like they're going to drop out. Like, I just feel like it's going to be more sudden than it might have been. We also have, later on in November, we have a full moon in Taurus that I've been talking about just a little bit starting today. I've been talking about that, really shining a light on anything that isn't safe and secure for us is going to fall away. Even if you're labeling it as, this is my security, but it's actually really not your security, it's like trapping you, it's going to go away. Okay. And that's why the internal dialogue is going to matter so much more. There's going to be a lot of happiness and joy around this idea of not having to have a lot of stuff in order to feel safe and secure. And I think there's going to be choices being offered to you very quickly after this full moon, or after the new moon in Scorpio, and we get to the full moon in Taurus. It's kind of like, I always think about Scorpio and Taurus they're a pair, right? Second house, 8th house, Taurus, Scorpio. It's all about what we value. What's worth it to you? And are your values changing? Have your values changed a lot over the past 15, 20 years? Are you the same person? Kind of hard to be when that's a big chunk of our lifetime. And if you feel like, I heard somebody say this, they're a family member of mine who's a little bit older than me. And she said to me, yep, haven't changed a bit since high school. And she thought that was great. And I was like, what? You're 60 years old. You haven't changed a bit. And I kind of felt like, well, she has, but she hasn't, it's been so incremental, right? It's not like, oh, one day all of a sudden I'm this way and I was that way for 20 years. And then the next day I become a totally different person. That's not what we're talking about. Although as we're moving in and we have Uranus sitting right there on the full moon, in the middle of November, and then we get to Pluto officially going into Aquarius. There is going to be some sudden change. Uranus is sudden, Aquarius is sudden change. Pluto is long, slow, grinding kinds of change. And I bet if you look back to 2008, especially what you thought was safe and secure in 2008 or 2013 or 2017, now might be a different story. How you approach risk. Some of you, like my story, was the only way to pursue any kind of safety, because you can't really plan or do anything if you don't feel safe. Like, what does it mean to feel safe? And you can't really have any safety if you don't also embrace risk. It's the other side of that coin. You're going to have to take some risks in life in order to feel like you can move about the cabin. If you're terrified of everything, and so you barricade yourself in, that's like the least safe place to be, because you can't see out. You can't see anything happening. You're not part of anything. You're not plugged in. You're not, right? And so, people who barricaded themselves away from the internet or technology, if that scares you, it's almost like right now the universe is saying, hey, go forward and utilize this gift, this technology, in ways that are going to help you create life moving forward. Because you're not going to stop it just by saying it's not there. That's a very risky position to be in, because then the rest of the world is moving forward and you're kind of in this place of like, I don't know what this is anymore. And so that is not, because we're talking about Aquarius. Aquarius is about technology. Pluto in Capricorn is perfectly fine with saying like the internet's a fad, just like television was a fad, right? Perfectly fine with that. But when Pluto goes into Aquarius, how can we utilize technology for the benefit of the collective? Instead of it being a place where people get scammed, a place where people get harmed or hurt because they're not aware of what's going on. They're wanting to say that it's not a thing. And, all of that stuff happens. And now it's not going to happen, because it's going to be more, I feel, egalitarian, more beneficial. How can everybody take part in this? And there won't be this barricading yourself away from something that is you're viewing as risky. Risk is a necessary part of life. And in order to fully embrace Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years, there's going to be a change of mindset. Aquarius, not change of heart, change of mindset. Change of heart, we have Venus in Sagittarius right now. That's a very adventurous kind of Venus heart, which I feel really good about. And I'll talk more about the astrology as we're getting into November and everything like that. But this just does feel to me about the risk of learning to meditate. Because a lot of people, I have heard you guys say it, like, I can't meditate. ADHD, I can't meditate. Guess what? ADHD. It's really a practice. It's something to learn. And if you're closing yourself off to that, I feel like what's going to be happening over the course of the next few weeks is there's going to be something that comes across your path that says, okay. And maybe it's just that that, maybe it's me saying that, hey, downloads are trying to come into you. You're part of this spiritual awakening. You're part of this. And it could be coming through your dreams. It could be coming in different directions, from different directions. But there's something here that says this is going to change you in this time of Scorpio. This is going to change the attitude of, I can't meditate, and being afraid of spirit guides or whatever it is. I've heard all of that stuff. at some point or other. And we talk about it during Pathfinders a lot about like, how do I know that this is not evil? How do I know that this is, you know, my spirit guide? Who are they? Right? It's like engage with it and act and ask and also protect. You're not out there swimming around just saying, hey, any spirit come in. No. Protection. You give yourself some protection. You put yourself in a protective bubble. You do. You put yourself in a protection. Say only that which is from the light can come toward me. I am not inviting anything else in. And if anything else comes in that feels kind of dark or whatever, bye. That's all you have to do. You have power. And I feel like that comes from a separation of people from spirit, from God. Like there's something to be afraid of around working with energy. There's something to be afraid of it. And I feel like that's a lot of reason a lot of you are starting to watch tarot readings. Some of you are brand new to this and opening up because I'm curious about, you know, what's happening to me and I don't know what's going on and I'm having all these dreams or I'm having these experiences and I'm just now opening up to it. So I'm curious. And that's, I know that is what my reason for starting this channel was like, hey, it's a calling. I'm called here to do readings. And if you are resonating with what I'm saying, that's your intuition. I'm here to validate that for you. And so that you can then take that to the next level. Okay. And so that's what this Four of Swords is about. It's like, hey, it's time to take it to the next level. It's time to learn more about spirit guides. I'm talking about elementals. In my Pathfinder group right now, I'm talking about looking at mission and purpose. I'm going to be talking about that over the next few weeks, about using your secondary progress chart to understand how your mission changes over time. It's not just one and done. It's not just like, okay, this is my mission for the rest of my life. It transforms, and it's transforming right now. All right. So let's go deeper into this. I want to look and see what you don't see coming. Let's talk more about November. I'll give you a little bit of a forecast. All right. So the link is below if you want to continue on with me. If this is your reading, Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.